several miles. This is the kind of terrain we're in. So I came in here in the summertime, a little bit further down the ridge, and I saw some decent bucks. I saw one really nice one. But, man, nothing tonight. I didn't see anything. My brother saw a couple of deer down over here. Our buddy on the back of the ridge still hasn't seen anything. I heard something walking through the trees. Something big. I don't know if it was a bear or deer. I never saw it. So it's going to be a rough one, I think. It's pretty disappointing when it's like a 10-year tag. You get up here and you don't see any deer really. Even when I scouted during summer, very few deer. Very few deer. It takes 10 years to get this tag in this state. And you get better hunts on general season tags in basically any other state but this one. But we're going to see. There are some big ones out here. It's just, you really got to cover some ground. Still hanging in there. Haven't had any issues with it yet. Still holding up. It's nice and comfortable. I haven't, no complaints on it really yet. And then if it doesn't go well, I'll be back in a week and a half or so. Come back up here again, try to finish out this hunt. And then I'll be taking it to Arizona at the end of October. But I hope we can get into some bucks. This is going to be a tough hunt, I think. Well, it's opening morning, and I've come pretty far down the ridge to check some of the lower stuff. My brother and our buddies up high, and so far, nobody's seen anything. I haven't heard a shot either from down in the valley. So I'm going to put down the camera for a few. Get out the spotter and start going to work on some of these far ridges. These nasty steep cuts. Where is it? Like up in here. See if I could find anything up there. It'd be pretty horrible to go after them, but if that's where they are, then it is what it is. Alright, I just spotted a really big buck. Let's see if I can get video of him. Kind of see him right there. See his frame walking away. He's pretty damn big. But he is way up in that. So I gotta find a way to get up there and try to kill this dude. Bachelor herd of bucks. Looks like there's a couple of decent ones in it, so we're making a move on them. We're gonna try to at least get one of them. And if they stick around long enough, we'll shoot a second. But I didn't see any monsters in it. It looked like there was a couple of decent ones, so it's been slim pickings this trip. So our standards, unfortunately, might not be met. So we'll see what these are. See if we're gonna shoot them or not. Most of the people we've talked to the past 3 days, you guys got here before the season, only one person that we've spoken to has even seen a deer. So I guess we're doing all right because we're seeing a few deer. We found bucks each day. Let's see if we can pull this off. Gave us the slip, so I think they're bedded right in front of us. They were right here. We're about half a mile further down, so we cut the distance, and we were hoping to get on this lip and be able to see down where they're heading, which is right over here. But this is just a flat bench of really tall sagebrush and some other weird brush. I don't know what it is. So I think we're going to leave them and plan on coming back tonight. And we'll probably camp back in here. And that way we could be up near the face of this right at sunrise. Alright, well, we're back in here. Yeah, got the tents and stuff. And set up on this bachelor herd of bucks we saw. My brother and our buddy riding up the ridge. Well, base of the ridge. To see those bucks. Head to them after they stand up. And I'm gonna go to the base of this mountain. And there should be some springs over here. Let's see what walks out. There's a lot more deer sign over here. A lot of tracks. A lot of crap. Compared to what we've been seeing in other places anyways. Still not a lot of deer signs, just a lot of deer signs for this place right now. So, see if we can put one down tonight. Can't tell exactly what that guy is. Bunch of bucks right there. I don't think any of them are real good though. Nothing worth shooting. I've seen another. See if he shows himself again. Good. Well, let that buck go. I had like 5 of them or something in front of me. They're all small. There was one decent 3x2 in the mix. He was maybe 20 inches wide. And he's a okay buck, I guess. Considering what we have been seeing, there's not much. But I didn't feel like shooting him back here. It's a long walk back to the truck for a decent buck. Or not even decent. I'd say a little bit below average for the unit. Well, before they all died in the horrible winter we just had. But didn't need to kill him. Maybe the last week of the season, if I run out of deer meat and I can't find anything else, maybe I'll shoot a meat buck, but right now I'm not looking for a meat buck.
Well, I glassed all of this stuff for hours. So there's running water down in here. Got plenty of feed up here. Just saw a deer here and I saw some more right next to me, but after several hours of glassing, I came up with 5 does. There's a 4-corn pack behind us up here that I saw yesterday. My brother and buddy saw him this morning, and they let him go, but somebody cruising the low road on an ATV, that buck walked over the hill and they flopped him. So he is no longer with us, but we'll see. This is getting tough. This is tough. We might have to go back up to the high country, and I really didn't want to, but we gotta figure something out. It's I was hoping to find a buck tucked away in here somewhere. I'm sure there is, I just didn't turn him up, but see what we do next. Well, I have been glassing and glassing and glassing. I went way up high so I could see as much as I possibly can in this place. I found 3 does. Virtually no deer sign. It's rough. I talked to a CHP officer the other day, or yesterday now, and he said during winter, because he works up in this area, that the roads were just lined with dead deer laying on top of the snow that couldn't survive. He said there were just hundreds of them. So that's not good. And you can definitely tell the other side of the valley, still not a lot of deer, but definitely more deer. That's a different herd. They definitely didn't get hit as hard as this herd. I don't think this herd got off the mountain in time. Not many of them anyways. So stick with it, see what we can turn up. I'm thinking about heading back down some lower foothills where you could cover larger chunks of ground faster. But I don't know, it's tough. Alright, well, this is what I'm watching tonight. So our buddy went up high. He's up over here somewhere. I'm hunting the middle country. And then my brother is somewhere down over here hunting the low country, just to see if we can find anything. It's been really, really tough. There's that doe right there. There was a big-bodied gray deer above her to the right in the brush, but I haven't been able to find it again yet. Didn't get to see what it was. So I'll leave the camera right here, see if I can turn it up. Alright, fellas. I'm already having trouble breathing coming from where I live up to about 9,000 foot. Well, I'm actually at like 8,400 right now. I'm going to end at 9,800. But this is round 2 over here in the Eastern Sierras. It's been a grind finding bucks, but I've only seen one mature one. He might have well been on the moon. I'm heading back up the mountain, different mountain, actually on the other side of the valley than I was for the opener. And I'm packing in solo this time. My bag's a little heavier because I don't know what the water situation is up where I'm gonna make camp. So I'm packing everything in. It's noon right now. I'm hoping to be to my camp spot by 4. I'm gonna keep hiking for a long time. I'll get back to you once hopefully we're up on the mountain. Alright, we're pretty high up here now. I'm almost the elevation I want. I'm at 9,600 foot right now. And I just saw my first deer. It was 2 bucks and a doe. I got him at like 70 yards. A little spike by fork, and it looked like a small tight frame of 3-point. And then a doe, but the tight frame 3-point, he was a little more savvy than the other 2. He kind of trotted off, but the other ones, they let me get to about 50 yards and then they just walked off into the tree line. So I lost about 15-20 minutes waiting for them to move on. So I'm busting out of the tree line. Yeah, I'm going up to this bald ridge. I'm gonna take that to the back and I hope I can leave this tree line that I'm looking at. All that, there's a big sloping face up there.
ridge back down this evening, see if we can find anything coming out, but I don't know if the GoPro is going to do this justice. This is a huge basin back in here. I'm only going to be able to cover 1 or 2% of this place, so it's going to be real easy for a mature buck to slip between my fingers up here. But we're going to spend a lot of time behind the glass, see what we can do. Spot for the next night or two. As you can see, there's a whole lot of nothing right here, but there's that little lip in front of me that gives me a slight windbreak, so that saves me from hiking. Snack in my pocket. That saves me from hiking way up there another half mile to get in the trees on the other side. So we're just gonna dip off over the side of this thing this afternoon. We're gonna glass that whole edge of the tree line that I poked out of, but it's getting a little hazy. They're doing controlled burns on the other side of the pass, and all that smoke started to blow in, so I can't glass very far. I can glass effectively maybe 600-700 yards at the most. So I don't even know if I'm gonna get my spotter in, or using the spotting scope. I'm probably gonna be mostly binos, just hitting that tree line. I'll sit there for a minute, and then if I'm not seeing anything, once it starts hitting prime time, I might roll up this and check this. There's an avalanche chute on the backside. But see, man, there's got to be a good buck in here somewhere. I just got to find him.
All right, so far nothing. You can kind of see out here how bad that smoke is. Here I can't glass very far. About to this, I can kind of see in this water, but not very well. So it's 5:49 right now. Still haven't seen anything move up in here. I was hoping I'd catch one moving through those pockets. But I'm gonna go back this way and go over this little knob, and I can see down this whole tree line really far. So I'm gonna see if anything came out beneath me. Sit there for a minute. I can still glass back up at this. And yeah, I'll see if we can see something out feed. Pretty slow so far. The only thing I've seen of those 3 deer right when they came out of the tree line.
Alright, it's windy as hell. I glassed that timber patch underneath me for like, oh gosh, I don't know, I probably looked at over a mile of the tree line. Nothing. And you can see, got a big moon. That's probably not doing me any favors either. The wind definitely ain't doing me any favors. Smoke didn't clear until right at the end of shoot time. And over here off this cliffy stuff to my right, behind camp, I finally found deer. 3 of them. 2 does and a fawn. So I'm gonna hunt it in the morning probably, because it has the thickest feeding patch I've seen up here so far. Those deer are right in it. But I'll tell you what, that is gonna suck, because I looked at the bottom, because I was just thinking if I shot one in there, I would just come pack up camp and go back up the mountain and loop down, pick him up, and then hike out with him out the bottom. And I looked at the bottom, and it is unbelievably steep and unbelievably thick, so I can't do that. So if I do shoot one over there, I have to loop around, because I'm going to shoot from the cliffs if I hunt it. I have to do about a mile loop to get onto the ridge with all the pine trees, and then I will have to hike down that horribly steep face, chop him up, and hike back up that steep face with him. Not a bad view though.
if I was finding bucks. Alright, well, the smoke cleared out, but that wind is ripping hard. It has all these deer pushed down to the bottom of these steep canyons. I got 4 does right on the other side of this rock bluff here. I'm moving up so I can see deeper into the cut. Let's see if there's anything beneath them. It'd be a lot easier to appreciate the views if it wasn't so windy. My eyeballs are drying out immediately. Unfortunately, this ridge top is just covered with sheep crap. And my experience with sheep is when they're around, the deer are gone. So it makes sense why they're in this steep, nasty side over here where sheep didn't go. The sheep all stayed on this flat ridge. I'm gonna keep blasting. Hopefully I can turn something up. Alright. Hopefully I got a good range on him. 6 minutes. 450 yards. Let's see if we can do it. Get somewhere where I can shoot this sucker. See what he is. He's down. He's down. He's not actually as big as I wanted, but today's my wife's birthday. I missed her birthday to be here, and I'm tired. I'm sick of running up and down these mountains. So I shot him. He's a high country buck. Cool experience. That's good enough for me. Whew. Let's play back the shot and see what we got. All right. So I see him laying there dead. He only took a couple of steps, and then he piled up. And he's right on a slope above a snowbank, so this is going to be tricky because I got to try to clean him right there without him sliding down, because if he slides down, he's going way down. So hopefully he landed on somewhat of a little flat spot to give me some room to work, but he's definitely not the buck I had hoped for with this tag. Didn't look like it anyways. I'm tired. I don't want to come back here. This is what I hunted 6 days, first 6 days of the season, and then I hunted yesterday and today. So I've hunted 8 days of this season, and it's been slim pickings, man. I've only seen one like legit good buck. Bunch of little guys. This is probably the second best buck I've seen. Not totally sure what he is because the way the sun was hitting him, there's a glare, so I couldn't tell if he was a small 4 or not. But we gotta look at him, take a look. But this is a tough hunt, man. I'm never gonna draw this tag again. It took me way longer than it was supposed to. When I first started putting in for this tag, it was 2.5 points, maybe 3. And now this year, it took me 8 points to draw. Well, let me take it back. My brother had 10, I had 8, so combined we had 9. And this hunt, it's a tough hunt for how many points it takes, that's for sure. But some guys been killing some incredible animals. I just haven't been able to get into them. I got to give a shout out to Matt Winkleman. That guy saved me miles of walking because he ended up taking a real nice buck in this unit, and we follow each other on Instagram. And I was talking to him, and luckily he told me where he shot his buck because he ended up shooting his buck right where I was planning on going on this trip, which if I would have walked all the way back there and the only good buck was dead, that would have sucked. So, but this was tough, man. Where I'm up above a lot of the tree line. There's this other weird type of pine that grows up here sporadically. This deer, I shot him right at 10,000 foot. So, cool experience. Solo backpack hunt in the backcountry, the Hoover Wilderness. So, my wife's happy. I'm gonna be going home. I'll actually be home for her birthday now. I told her it was her fault for being born during deer season, but as you can imagine, that doesn't roll over too well. So, anyways, we're gonna get down there. I'm not gonna glass anymore because I don't want to see something that's gonna make me regret what I just did. But hopefully, fingers crossed, maybe he's a little better than I think. This wind has been ripping. So sadly, it was my original side I wanted to hunt, but the way the wind is blowing, I figured I'd have to target this other side. And that buck was across that big bold rock face. He's staying out of the wind, just above the shelf line. Oh, man, I can't breathe up here. But like I said, I don't totally know what he is. I'm hoping he's bigger than I thought, because I didn't think he was very big. I'm ready to go home, and just what a cool experience to come up here and hunt at this elevation in the wild. Alright, here it is. Not exactly what I wanted coming to X12, but it's been tough, man. It has been brutal. Even this, packing him up just to get back to camp is gonna suck. him on all this steep, loose rock. But he only went maybe just a couple steps, and he slid down here. I don't see an exit hole, so I might be able to find my slug somewhere on this side. Punched him right through the shoulder. I don't see any blood, so maybe find that slug would be pretty cool. But he's a cool buck. He's just not real big. Maybe, I don't know, about a 20-inch wide 3-pointer with eye guards. But yeah, we got it done. It's a cool hunt. Got a good sized body on him. He's still a young deer though. But I'm sick of looking for the big ones. I'm ready to go home. This was my hunt. Originally I was planning on riding out the storm because it was only supposed to be half day Saturday. Then it turned into all day Saturday. Now it's all day Sunday. And then tomorrow the winds are real bad, which is Friday. So today's Thursday. This was my last somewhat decent day to hunt because doesn't seem bad right here, but you go to the other side, the winds are probably 30 miles an hour. So it's keeping these deer down on these steep slopes down this opening down here. Yeah, I saw a few deer down there. This guy was on this rocky bench, just cruising. So I'm gonna get him cleaned up, and I'm gonna debone this guy, and then we're heading on out of here. It's 8 o'clock right now. I probably won't be out in, shoot, maybe 3 or 4 o'clock. I'll be back to the truck if I'm lucky. But that's it for X12. Well, we are loaded up. We're heading out. I don't even want to know how much my pack weighs right now. It is horrible. I carried in some extra water filter stuff that I apparently didn't need because there's no water up here. It's all way down the bottom. So I added a couple of pounds, plus about 10 pounds of camera equipment, which I didn't get much video because the wind was so bad. I didn't bother filming those other deer. I tried to put the camera on, and it was just shaking so bad you couldn't even see what I was trying to film. But that, and then my camp, some extra clothing because it's cold as heck at night up here, rain gear in case I didn't get off the mountain before the storm hit, and now a whole deer. So it's gonna be a rough couple miles back to camp. Luckily most of it's downhill, but there are a couple spots where I gotta go up some pretty steep washes. I think I got 3 or 4 of those, so that's gonna suck. But did it up in here. I'm gonna be kicking myself if I see a bruiser in the timber on my way out. But that's gonna do it for X12. We'll never put him for this tag again. It takes way too long to get. There are good deer in it, but when you wait 10 years for a tag, you kind of expect it to be at least decent. I found bucks every time I hunted. A lot of little ones. I only see one good one. Even that guy, he was only a 3x2. He was just massive. But they're here. It's not worth almost a decade of points. Alright guys, I'm taking a little break from the pack out, but I figured I'd give you a recap for how the Tide Weebano harness is done all this season. Ran it through A-Zone, and then up here in the high country X12, and a bunch of brush stuff down lower. It's been going through the ringer, rain, snow, hail, brush, and it's doing fine. It's not waterproof, but it has that rain fly in the bottom. You just unzip, pull it over, protects your stuff. But no, pretty good, man. They for the price especially, very good product. You have a bunch of other stuff. You go to tidewe.com. You have a bunch of the waterfowl stuff, waders. They got some really good waders for the price. But if you want to check them out, go to tidewe.com. Use SJ18 as your promo code. Get you 18% off. They have a pretty good variety of stuff, so be sure to check them out.